Hello and welcome to another update video on gold. So the gold chart has obviously dipped a little bit since yesterday. We are still holding above the 27th of June low, which is the level that, as long as it holds, keeps this orange triangle scenario alive. But really to validate the orange scenario, which is the directly bullish one further, the market would need to break above the green line that's located at $3,390. I'm going to zoom in to explain that further. But basically, that would be our first upside breakout point. Obviously, then we can talk about resistances here in the area around 3,500 to $3,530. But for now, the focus seems on this short-term downtrend, and the nearest resistance area is located here. I'm going to talk about that in a minute. But I wanted to start zoomed out to help you understand there is one directly bullish scenario as a triangle A, B, C, D, E, but that E wave really needs to be complete here because any break below the red line at $3,305 would invalidate the triangle pattern because an E wave is not allowed to go below the C wave low. However, in that case, obviously there still needs to be, let's say there still needs to be a reasonable alternative for a bullish case, right? I mean, again, I explained it in the last video, they are both bullish. It's just that in the short term, we might see a little bit more downside if the market, especially if the market follows this white scenario further to the downside. So pressure is down in the short term, but they are both bullish. But what if we break below that red line? Does it mean we have to go into this blue target zone, which is for the white scenario, $3,120 and lower? No. There will be a, let's say, an alternative triangle pattern. Could very well be that this C wave is still unfolding. So we're just forming a broader triangle structure, yeah? An extended triangle. That would create even more frustration. I cannot ignore that. In that case, the price would need to turn around to the upside before we break below the $3,206 level. But I'm not going to put the alternative triangle onto the chart until we invalidate the first one. Just want you to know about it so that you don't think, obviously, sometimes people then think it's guaranteed that the price will go lower if we break a key level. That's not how it works. It's just important to understand what the relevant pivots are here and that we are still in a wave 4 correction, most likely, yeah? Now, let us take a look at the shorter time frame. So what you can see here is a reaction just above this red key line there. The nearest resistance area at the moment is located here between $3,346 and $3,374. Now, a bounce from here is possible. A further bounce, a further rally, and if we break out above resistance and then above the green line at 3,390, it could indicate further that maybe even that wave 4 has bottomed. But you know what? That would require a lot of, a lot of more upside and a proper 5-wave move up. We haven't seen that yet. But it would mean that the immediate downside pressure is reducing. So this is the first resistance area we're fighting with at the moment. I gotta say this move up looks a little bit like a 5-wave move, so I would not rule out further upside from here. But please note that if we get a break above resistance and the green line, while it would shift probabilities towards the orange scenario and us potentially being in a breakout, technically from an Elliott wave point of view, a triangle breakout isn't really indicated until we get a break above the D wave high. So here, 3,500 area. Because it could very well be that this wave 2 is just simply resetting. So yeah, there is, all I want to say here, there is a lot of work required to really confirm that we're in an upside breakout. We're still chopping around. I mean, if you see that here zoomed out, the market has only been moving sideways since April. And that is very much in line with my idea that we are in a correction, in a wave 4 correction, still, okay? So it's just, I think it's just important to be aware that this is the point where the wave 4 triangle could complete, or would have to be complete before it gets invalidated. So it's a key spot. And then I think for today, the focus is on these resistance areas. What I can tell you while I record this video is we do have maybe something that even looks like a micro 5-wave move up, I have to say. Maybe. It's too small to be relevant anyway. And a 3-wave move down. So we might stretch a little higher. we might stretch a little higher. If that happens, the next level to watch is obviously 3,390. And then also I can add an additional resistance zone to the chart, which will be there to watch in case, for example, a broader wave 2 is unfolding. Here we would then talk about 3,413 to 3,467, just the next zone to watch. And yeah, I mean, the reaction to the upside here from the Wednesday low is just too small to draw any, let's say, bullish conclusions at this point. I'm not convinced yet that we've bottomed here in a meaningful low. That's the update on gold. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the membership as a stocks service member, or if you join our stocks membership, you also get access to daily gold updates, silver updates, pretty much every day. And then we cover the S&P every day, the NASDAQ every day, the ES futures chart every day, and additional stocks as well. You'll find a link in the description. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.